All right, guys, I just wanted to shoot this video to try to help all of you who are planning on going to football camps and are trying to get a real college offer, really trying to get recruited and play college football, get real scholarship money. I'm not talking about Division III pay-to-plays. I'm talking about Division I, whether I'm not talking about Power 5. Those guys are seeked out mostly when they're freshman or sophomore. I am talking primarily Division II and FCS Division I, possibly maybe FBS Division I. Okay, so here's the number one rule. If you are a senior and a rising senior and you currently do not have an offer, okay, and you don't have a camp invite, meaning the coach didn't personally offer you to come to his camp, I would highly suggest casting your net at Division II colleges and trying to build a relationship with those coaches now in hopes of getting some type of scholarship money. I'm not telling you not to go to some Division I camps. I'm just telling you don't just be, D1 or bust. Because if you don't currently have an offer or an invite, you need to start thinking about going to Division II and be realistic. This is for people who really want to play college football and want to get some type of scholarship money. I'll give you a story of a kid played for a local team last year around here. He was the only guy I saw going to Division II camps. He didn't even start at the high school team he was at. And lo and behold, he ended up getting a partial scholarship from a Division II school. He went to the right places and built the right relationships. So if you don't have, especially if you don't have a 3.0 and above, you definitely need to be going to Division II camps. I would highly suggest UWF, Valdosta State, West Alabama, and I spoke to the head coach for Shorter, Georgia, who they're having a camp, I believe it's June 16th or 17th in Hoover, Alabama. He said they have 24 seniors graduating, so it will be a big class. So this is me speaking to the head coach of Shorter, Georgia. That's another Division II that offers money. So that is for my seniors. Number two, I would say, have your Twitter set up properly. You need to have your Twitter set up. Whatever your best picture is that shows off your size, if it's a jump ball, you have 2 pictures on Twitter. So you're trying to sell. This is a sales exchange. You are trying to sell yourself. This is a business exchange, meaning you are willing to provide a service for them. You are going to play football. You are going to commit and give up your body and play football in exchange for an education. That's what this is. So you must sell yourself. You need to have your GPA up there. Whatever your selling points is, if you have a high vertical, if you're tall, you need to have your height, your weight on there. Maybe it's a strength. Whatever it is, have that up there. Number 3, get the coaches' names that you work with at the camps and follow them on Twitter. The idea is to go to the camp and get attention. And the attention, 90% of the time, if you go to the camp and you do something good, you know what the next step is? The coach is going to want to go look at your film. You might not get an offer right then and there, or they might want to look at your film. Then the next step would be to look at your transcripts. It doesn't always go getting an offer right there on site. So you need to learn how to follow up and use your Twitter as a business tool. As far as following coaches, that's what you're trying to do with your Twitter, is follow coaches in hopes that they follow you. So your offer might not come. You might cause some attention. You got to think there's a million kids who want to play college football. You might fall in the pool of talent of, hey, he's good, but I've got 20 guys that I'm looking at that are just like him. What's going to separate them? Maybe it's your character, knowing how to talk. You need to do this. Don't have your parents going up to the coaches. You need to know how to shake their hand, look them in the eye, and be professional. That's what coaches want, especially in today's recruiting climate where the transfer portal comes first. College coaches do not have the tolerance to deal with some kid that acts like a kid when they can go get kids with more experience out of the transfer portal. So this is something you want to look at. It's harder to get Division I offers. That's why you need to look at more Division II and FCSs, especially if you are a rising senior without an offer and without a real camp invite. Number 4, most important thing that I see people failing at miserably whenever they are going to camps is they go to the camp and they don't have anybody filming them. You should have your parents. You spend all this hard-earned money going to the camp, paying travel, food, maybe it's a hotel. Film every single rep. Have your parent film. You might do something at that camp that you've never done before. You might have this crazy day. Maybe it's a high ball, a high ball that you high pointed, whatever. You might do something miraculous. I would film that. That holds weight. And let me just tell you a story. I took my son last year, and I'll send you guys the link to Georgia Tech camp. My son killed this camp. The coaches say, "Where's your dad?" They took us on a tour right then. Even the players were walking around saying, "That kid's getting an offer. That kid's getting an offer." They took us on a tour around the campus. Told us they would call us on Monday. They called and said, "Hey, the head coach says there's too many tight ends, his body type," basically saying he's a little bit too short for what they're looking for. But because I filmed that tape, I filmed it. What happened? We posted it on Twitter. Louisiana Tech saw it and they offered him. They saw routes that my son ran that they utilized, and it was good enough for them to offer him. So if I wouldn't have posted that, he would have never gotten an offer from Louisiana Tech. So film it, and you should post it. I'll drop some links below. You can look up my son's name, Jaden, last name Mikhael, Mikhael, and there's on YouTube his clips of when he went to Clemson, Georgia Tech, UWF, certain camps, and you can follow something like that to post. Okay, number 5, and this is for all athletes, all your rising freshmen, sophomore, junior, senior, is get a post-camp analysis. Okay, if you're a freshman, you're going to a camp, guess what? Most of those college coaches are really focused on the juniors, the rising seniors. But it's a good time for you to go create a relationship, get the coach's last name. You're trying to follow him on Twitter. That coach, 90% of the time, by the time you're a senior, will not be at that school. He won't be at that school. It'll be somewhere else. But hopefully you'll get a follow from him. But most importantly, get a post-camp analysis. If you don't get a post-camp analysis and find out what you need to work on, we all need to work on something, and take heed to that information and go work on it, then you could be just spending valuable time just going to camps when maybe you need to work on your speed. Maybe you're just not, you need to devote a summer to getting faster, or maybe you're getting stronger, or maybe you're too tight. Maybe you need a lot of time to mobility. Perfect example, I remember my son, they were saying he was too tight. So what did I do? I put him with a mobility person. Worked with a mobility 6 months, 2 times a week. Guess what? They never said he was too tight again. Look, so I don't want to talk your ear off. This is my first gems, though, that I want to say. Recap. If you're a senior with no offer or no Division I camp invite directly from a coach, cast your net. Start going to Division IIs. Number 2, have your Twitter set up properly and professionally. No stupid stuff on social media. 3, get the coaches' names that you work with and follow them on Twitter. Number 4, have your parents film you at the camp and create a highlight reel to post it on your Twitter. Tag the coaches you worked with, okay? Number 5, all athletes, freshmen, sophomore, ask for a post-camp analysis. My name is JP, M3 Love. If I can help out anybody, reach out to me on Instagram, JP, Mikhael.